Hello, Tide fans. Welcome to Tide Talk. I'm your host, Sean Taylor. Got my buddy back, Jimmy Messick. Man, glad to have you back, Jimmy.
Glad to be back,
Maurice
Taylor.
is always a staple. He's here, carrying us through this year. Right,
We can't keep him away from this place, can we?
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
I didn't get a memo.
We even tried changing the days today, and here he is.
Yeah, I know. You would have thought somebody said, hey, wear a tie, wear a vest, dress up, fix your hair. Do something besides wear those awesome shoes.
Tide fans, I apologize. I had to come straight from the office.
We are twins in a little bit today.
I had to come
Not
straight from
planned
the
either.
office.
That's not helping.
Well,
Not planned.
Let's don't
That's not
talk about
helping
the twin shirts and
I
stuff.
even wore a T-shirt.
Yeah, correct. But here I am, and we're going to talk about some Alabama football. Got a lot to talk about. Did we, in fact, take heed to the warnings? Did we show up? Or is Mississippi State just that bad?
Yes, I think so. I think they're good offensively. It's funny. I'm always the voice of reason and good hair. But 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, everybody was on the ledge, saying, "Oh, we got this is it.
Right.
We're done." And the only thing
Typical
I said,
Alabama fans, right?
exactly. And the only thing I said is, we're going to be in trouble if the attitude doesn't change. Attitude changed for last week. That's 1 week.
Consistency.
Exactly. So, and everybody keeps saying, we're back. Well, I didn't know we went anywhere. But let's just see what happens week in and week out. Like Coach Saban said, there's no margin for error any longer. If you do, you're done for the year.
We played a fairly complete game against Ole Miss and showed up the next week and crapped the bed, right? So I'm going to be curious to see how we do that.
It's true, though.
How we do that and then respond this coming week. Besides a somewhat of a slow start, in my opinion, we can go back and look at some text messages if we want to share those, that I was very upset with how we started the game. But once we kind of settled in, again, I thought it was possibly our best game of the year. And so I was excited to see that, but I am going to be curious how we respond this week.
Individual players, this is a team game, but individual players make significant impact.
Sure.
And listen, Will Anderson called people out, so we heard. I wasn't there. I don't know if you saw it. I didn't see any footage of it. I know you heard about it. We talked a little bit about it. Will Anderson calls people out and then comes up and has and I'm going to put in quotes because people are calling him the Derek Thomas performance. Not quite sure that it's a Derek Thomas performance, but it was very good. 4 sacks.
4 sacks in one game.
In one game.
That's pretty good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Not Derek Thomas.
He got more sacks in one game than some teams have all year.
Correct.
Put it that way. They have him at second, but he's
My
actually
whole
first.
point behind that is he, talked the talk and walked the walk. I agree with you, Jimmy. When we first started the game, I was thinking to myself, something's got to change. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they slapped each other around over there on the sideline. Something's got to change. Yes, we held them to 3 field goals. Defensively, we bowed our necks when we had to. And I've said it for years and years, that bend don't break. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they didn't score.
Right.
SEC football didn't score.
But you realize that this was the number 1 passer coming into the game. This is the second time we face them like that, and after we play them, they're no longer
scored a touchdown.
They're no longer first.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you, though? How come we can't get ready for every quarterback, every team, like we did against Ole Miss and Mississippi State?
This is deja vu.
Well,
This is deja vu because we've discussed this on this show before.
Right.
It's difficult to get 18, 19, 20-year-old guys to understand that you have to prepare the same way regardless. And when you're number 1 every single week and most every year, it's hard to get them to – and Texas A&M lost 2 games back-to-back. And they're thinking, we're Alabama.
Well, it's not happening to that team right now. And it doesn't bother me one bit, that team up in Athens, because they seem to bring it every week. Now, is this, like I said a few weeks ago, I called it, all it takes is a loss to make this team refocus. Mm-hmm. And are we at that point? We'll find out this weekend and the next and the next.
And it's every Saturday.
Right.
But it's every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday leading up to that?
I agree.
What are they doing? Because listen, I still think we're one of the worst tackling teams in the SEC. And surprisingly, To'oa leads the team in tackles.
I saw that too. He led us in tackles this past week.
Which is
and was some kind of defensive player of the week.
Just beyond me, because the way
winner.
I mean, we can break some things down. We can talk about some individual players. Man, I'm a little concerned about Christian Harris.
No?
I'm a little concerned about, man, I've been high on him leading up to the past few weeks, but missing a lot of tackles. Seems like he's not in the right spot often.
Makes me wonder if he's hurt or injured and he's not saying anything or they're not reporting something.
Yeah, it makes me go,
healthy.
who is this guy? Is there somebody else in that jersey? It's confusing to me because I know that we have to go work on those things regularly. Technique and...
I don't think he's lined up in the right area. I was watching it last night in some of the positions that we have him in.
Agree.
Well, I'm
Well,
saying that y'all do, but some people ridiculed me for making fun of Pete Golding and some of his schemes and alignments, and watched it again. And I don't think you're putting a key player in a position, literally in a position, because every time that a player's lined up out there, it's scrutinized where they're supposed to be lined up on the field to the foot, to the inch. And I don't like where he is.
I wonder this, though, and again, this is by no means giving anybody a pass on that side of the ball. But I read something this week, and it made me go, the new rules, the whole targeting thing, is that somehow in the back of their heads, are they not maybe as aggressive as they need to be because they're afraid they're going to go out there and put their helmet on something and get called and get kicked out of a game? They're going up
really
there more.
A new rule?
Hey, let me go up here and tackle him by the, so
Yeah,
I don't get kicked out of the game. I mean, I'm just
wonder.
throwing it out there because I read something about it. So you tell me. I don't know.
Let's pause for a second. Was Helams injured, or did he just get benched, or number two?
No, I didn't see anything about him being hurt.
I didn't see him in the game at all.
Well, I saw number 5 in, so. But
Moore was back. Moore was out last week, so Moore was back, and I think he just took his spot. I don't know.
I was just curious because I know that he got blistered a little bit against Texas A&M, and not that Branch didn't, but Branch was in there, and
right.
There
were a couple of times we had a cover 7 in where we just rushed 3, had one in the middle, and we had basically dropped 7. So I don't know. Maybe he played limited, but I didn't see him.
I didn't see him at all.
And speaking of that secondary, I really thought, again, minus a slow start for everybody on that side of the ball, I really thought they played a better game. Aside from just the picks that we had, I thought they did a better job of tackling. I thought they did a better job of attacking, that runner when he got outside or that receiver when they caught those, shorter passes or whatever you want to call it. So I was impressed with how the secondary played, and I thought they played their best game of the year.
Well, listen, I really thought that, I don't know how you're going to take this, I really thought that the defensive side of the ball, the game was called better. I mean, we brought up some blitzes that we ain't seen all year now.
Well, I'm not a big fan of our blitz packages.
I know, but listen, we did bring some different looks
We
this past week and was able to get to the quarterback.
Well, we'll highlight a play that I texted Joel about the other night with Will Anderson doing a stunt. And
and I got a comment about that, and maybe we'll do that in the next segment. Maybe we'll talk about that. But I did. I thought we brought some different looks that was able to be effective, and we were able to get to the quarterback. I think we had 8 sacks total for the night.
No, but I don't know how much of that was coming just from the blitz packages. Like I said, I'm just not a fan. I haven't seen anything that's wowed me as far as what we're doing blitzing-wise.
From a scheme perspective.
To Jimmy's point, don't tell him I said this because he gets a big head whenever I compliment him. But I thought the coverage was a lot better. I thought the communication of breaking off and picking up was a lot better.
Yeah. Again, man, 49-9, can't really complain SEC on the road against the air raid.
Yeah.
Can't really complain. Held them out of the end zone. Let's take a short break. We'll come back and talk a little bit about some of those plays that you're referencing, because I got a comment to that too. I agree somewhat with you. But on behalf of Bob English and State Farm, hold your seats, Tide fans. We'll be right back with Tide Talk.
Bob.
Enjoy the good times a little more with the right plan. As your State Farm agent, I am here to help you protect your dreams and loved ones with life insurance. With over 60 years combined State Farm experience, call me or any of my team to find out which options are best for you. Another way, we're here to help life go right.
College football fans and players both want full stadiums this fall. Let's make sure we can safely make this happen by getting vaccinated. Please get your COVID-19 vaccine. We want Bryant-Denny Stadium loud again this coming season. Roll Tide.
All right, Tide fans, welcome back to Tide Talk. Maurice, we were talking just a little bit about schemes and blitz packages, and we've had some concerns about that. We haven't really seen a whole lot, but even when we did see some, they weren't very effective.
No.
The way they went about it, the lanes that they were taking, and that sort of thing, and so you had commented about a specific play, about Will Anderson and the loop that he took.
Right.
And you didn't like that at all because it took so long for him to get there.
Yeah, it's about 7 minutes and 45 seconds into the first quarter. Chris, if we can pick that up, you'll see where Will Anderson's lined up on the left side of the ball, which he's down, hands in the dirt, which I really don't understand. If you got a speed rusher.
Right.
Exactly. So as you'll see, he does a loop right here, a stunt going around from the left side to the right side. If you count it off, it's almost 5 seconds. I don't know of too many pass plays where the quarterback, the coordinator says, all right, this is going to be 5 seconds before you let go of the ball.
Right.
So there's no purpose in doing that.
Especially Mississippi State.
Exactly. So if you have somebody like Will Anderson, use his speed to your advantage, going from point A to point B, not A, B to C to D. Understand what I'm saying? And Christian Harris the same way. As far as when he's coming in blitzes, you got to create lanes for them to get through, not just run through there and maybe a back picks you up. And I don't see us doing that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't necessarily remember that exact play verbatim, but
It's when I texted you in
is that what it was?
Right when it happened.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I said, Jimmy,
I remember it.
This play right here at 7:44.
Oh, is that when it was? Okay. Well, I
Look
still
at
don't
it.
remember it. But
And you didn't respond.
But I do think when we can just pin our ears back, like you mentioned, just let Anderson just do his thing on that edge, we're at our best. And of course we saw that with him with 4 sacks.
Well, what I'm seeing, and maybe you guys can agree, maybe you saw it as well, he's starting to require double teams, which is freeing another guy.
Right.
We did it a couple times, and maybe it wasn't a really unique blitz package, but when he comes hard off the edge, I saw it a couple of times Saturday night. They're bringing another guy to help with him.
So when they do that, there's your lane.
Should be freeing a lane
for somebody else.
Yes. And a couple of times we got to him with that. A couple of times Brian Branch, I remember specifically, he and Christian Harris had a half of a sack, or they credited it to Brian Branch, I don't remember, but he fills the lane, he gets to the quarterback, and Harris cleans it. As a matter of fact, it's the play that the quarterback hurt his shoulder.
I was about to say.
Well, that was Moore and Branch that got in there, I think.
No, Christian Harris was the guy that finished him up.
It was Harris and
Branch
Moore.
And Branch. But my point is, somebody filled the lane because of the double team, and we got to him quickly, and Harris cleaned it up. But because of a double team.
Right.
And we've got to be able to take advantage of those because he's going to get more, especially after a 4-sack night.
And during the game, and I know we've got it, we just don't see enough of it, where you recognize you being a linebacker usually, or a safety, you recognize that the lane is opened up. In certain situations, that allows you to go. If you see that, meaning if he picks him up, he comes over to help, there's your lane, you take off. So at some point you have them outnumbered on one side, like A&M did to us, to where you can get to the quarterback. We have a lot of speed on defense,
Yeah.
and it needs to be utilized.
And Anderson's one of them.
He's very much one of them.
I thought the DBs played really well, to comment to that. I mean, not just because of the picks.
Right.
But listen, there's a lot of times, as we've said before, man, you're out there on an island with guys that are running 4.3, 4.40s that know the direction they're going. And I thought several times we had really good press coverage, incomplete passes, balls that were thrown away because we're on them. And, the picks, great job by Job. First time I've seen in a long time somebody actually jump a route.
Jump a route, yeah.
That we were in a position to be able to jump a route. Even better than just jumping. We were in position to be able to jump the route.
That was a perfect break on the ball that he had. Job, that was still in the first quarter.
Yes, it was the first pick.
It was a beautiful, beautiful play on his part. I loved, and I was going to send it to y'all because I know how y'all love my in-game analysis. But his position, his hips, his head, everything was perfect, and it allowed him. Now he also had help on the top. So but he made a beautiful play.
But it makes me go back to the very first part of the show, the conversation. I mean, did the guys pay closer attention in the film room? Because if you watch, Job did that again. He jumped the same back shoulder throw again, and they threw it for an incomplete pass because he was standing there.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it twice, like he knew what was coming. And you're right. His first pick, he had help over the top. Was it because the defense got together and paid a little bit closer attention? And I know we don't know that answer, but something changed.
But here's my question to that then.
Why haven't we been?
Is that not the coach's responsibility to make sure they're doing that? Or they send them home with some homework? Hey guys, go home and make sure we all watch some of this film and come back and let's talk about it tomorrow. I don't know how that works because I've never been in the program. But why haven't we been watching film?
To answer your question, it should be the coach's responsibility.
Yeah,
it should be the defensive guy. It is ultimately the defensive coordinator, but obviously they have DBs coaches, middle linebacker coaches, etc. But it should be their responsibility.
It is.
They should be making sure that they
Position
are.
coaches go over that in film. You have what we used to have is a book that you got every Monday, but now I'm sure it's all digital. So yes, there are those for the players' tendencies. So yes.
And who knows, maybe Saban had to come to Jesus meeting with all his coaches.
Or maybe Miss Terry had to come to Jesus meeting with Nick. Who knows?
There you go.
Well, I know this. Something happened. We looked much more confident. We looked like we were in better position most of the night.
Yeah.
Not always, but again, as I've said, you can't be in the right position every single time. You're just not going to be.
Right.
They're going to design a really good play. They're going to block it correctly. They're going to execute it, and it's going to be effective. But we did it enough to keep them out of the end zone. They threw it 58 times.
What was the deepest that they got? I don't think there was ever really any.
I don't remember any long plays or
They were
explosive
inside.
plays.
They were inside the 20 twice. Inside the 20 twice.
Okay.
We got the sack, pushed them back. Incomplete pass, another sack. They kick a field goal. I do remember that.
But I don't remember them getting any explosive plays. I don't remember any breakdowns as far as coverages go or anything like that.
And that's it blows my mind that from 1 week where we had, I can think of 3 busted coverages, 3 for touchdowns against Texas A&M, and we had none against a team that passes the ball more.
Right.
Logically, that just doesn't make sense.
And it's called the air raid attack.
It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, we
It
had
does. To
no
me,
mental breakdowns.
Then you're not prepared in the one that you had.
That's correct.
And it's like you said last week, Saban has said it before. We don't have a defense where someone is allowed to run free deep.
Right.
So
Or anywhere.
you have a breakdown in communication at that point because I thought you had it. No, I thought you had it. Well, that's breakdown.
Yeah, 3 times.
So we didn't have that the other
I
night.
can recall
Right.
3 times specifically in the Texas A&M game, but you know what? They cleaned it up a little bit, and I agree with you, Maurice. Are they back? I don't know that we ever left, but are they refocused? The only way we're going to know that is watch what they do this coming Saturday night. That's the only way we'll be able to determine if that focus is consistent, if they understand the magnitude of what's at stake. There is no room for error. If you want to do what you are set out to do, SEC championship, playoff, possible national championship, you have to be really, really sound. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back and talk a little bit about the offense. We'll break that down a little
Tennessee
bit.
week.
Yep, man,
Tennessee
Bryce,
week.
Bryce Young, gosh. Tennessee week, third Saturday in October.
You got a cigar in there?
No, I do not, but I
Okay.
do have one for the after party.
I don't have one.
Hold your seats, Tide fans. We'll be right back with Tide
I saw
Talk.
Velcro. I don't have one. So
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries, and home and auto insurance from State Farm. So make it a combo. Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Just call me, Bob English, or any of my experienced hometown team and find out how you could start saving today. It's just another way.
Okay, welcome back, Tide fans. We're going to go right into stats with Jimmy. So much to talk about. We're going to go ahead and hit that now in this segment, this section of the show. Jimmy, tell us where we are.
All right, real quick, Tide fans. I'm not sure y'all covered this last week when I was gone.
We did not.
So 2 weeks. So here we go. Scoring offense. We are 45 points a game, which is first in the SEC and fourth nationally. Rushing offense, we'll break it down real quick. 166 yards a game, ninth in the conference, 66 nationally. Passing offense, 316 a game, which is second in the conference and 13th overall in the country. Total offense, we're looking at 482 a game, which is third in the conference and 12th in the country, which is not too bad with a lot of new faces on that side of the ball. Third down conversions, again, I like to point this out for us. We're converting at 55%, which is first in the conference and third in the country.
Yeah, I knew that.
Again, that's how you sustain those drives. That's how you get those 45 points a game. Red zone conversions, 91%, third in the conference, 22nd overall. And then real quick on the defensive side, I was mentioning that I thought our rush defense would improve because they wasn't running the ball and we were getting all those sacks. So real quick on the scoring, on the defense, scoring defense, we're at 20 points a game, which isn't terrible, I don't guess. Fifth in the conference, 35th overall. Rushing defense is 93 a game, second in conference and 12th nationally. Passing defense,
Who's first in the conference?
210 a game on the passing, which is good for 7th and 51st, respectively. Getting off the field, we talked about that. Getting off the field as far as giving up those third down conversions. Let me find that for us real quick. We're 36%, which when you think about it, that doesn't sound terrible. I mean, 36%, that's still only 5th in the conference and 51st overall, which I thought that was kind of odd because I really think getting off the field 30% or 35, 36% of the time is really not that bad at all. And then real quick, of course, penalties, I don't even want to talk about that. We're still about dead last in the conference and almost dead last in the country, so we still got to clean that junk up. Just a couple of things, and this is what, because we talked about the last time I remember a couple of shows ago that we're talking about our explosive plays. Where are those explosive plays? We're not seeing those explosive plays on offense. 10 plus pass play, 10 yards plus, 85 plays, 20 plus 32 times, which is 6th and 9th nationally, which I thought was kind of odd. So I was like, I didn't realize we were making those many explosive plays down the field. Of course, Will Anderson, we talked about him already, 4 sacks, most we've had since Derek Thomas had 5 in '88. So anyway, just a couple of things I want to throw out there to you, Tide fans, and So, everything's improving for the most part, I guess.
Offensively, we're having to score, but we're not having to score every time. Last year,
I don't think we can.
well,
Compared to last year, like Jimmy said first week, you're not going to see.
you're not going to see that again.
Yeah.
And again, we're spoiled because, last year when we needed to score, we could score. I had no doubts about that. Very confident. This year,
Right.
not as confident. A lot of that has to do, I mentioned it earlier, individual play. A lot of that has to do with individual play. Man, I don't know what's going on with Billingsley and Latou. They're dropping too many balls. And well thrown balls. Not balls that they're having to go up and make, ESPN type plays. They're dropping too many balls.
I read something, 11 targets, 1 catch, 5 drops.
Yeah.
Last 2 games.
Man, you're a numbers guy for real.
I'm a numbers guy.
I read that today too, as a matter of fact.
So-
And that,
I don't know. Yeah, but it's a good thing that we had somebody else step up this past week
yeah.
to replace their production, because I still feel like we got to get some production out of those tight ends. I don't know where
we
it went
will.
either.
We're going to have to
But-
against Georgia.
But kudos.
We're going to have to coming up against Tennessee, I believe.
Let's get to Georgia first.
Yeah.
But kudos to the freshmen for stepping up. Finally, somebody stepping up. That's a young player that we've been expecting, not necessarily this particular player, but we've been hoping or expecting somebody to step up, because we've got so much young talent sitting over there on the bench, and we finally did with Mr. Trayshawn.
Well, I think we've got some a little bit better consistent play from the offensive line this week. Now, I don't know what that really means. Is that indicative of Mississippi State's front four? I don't know. But I know we had a little bit better consistency. We ran the ball fairly well. Brian Robinson still had a good game. Caught the ball out of the backfield. 78 to 80 yards rushing on not bad. What I'm a little confused about, though, we didn't run the ball to the left side much at all, to be honest.
I don't know if we had to. Roydell was having a good game as well. Roydell Williams.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think the left side's there whenever he wants it. Because to me, Evan Neal's the best left tackle in college football.
See, it makes me wonder, though, in games like this, does Saban use games like this as almost
practice
like
on the
practice? Yeah.
on the right side?
Hey guys, let's concentrate on this right side, because maybe they see something like
Give them some confidence.
we're going to score. Let's work on this game and see what we can do.
Well, I can tell you, we ran.
To me, that has to be what it is.
We ran the football to the right side often.
Yeah.
We ran it to the right side often.
And hey, and welcome back, Mr. Mechie. He
Yeah.
finally showed back up, because again, I think he's been hurt. He ain't been 100% either. So, but he had a decent game.
If you're not a Bryce Young fan by now, there's a problem. Man, I'm telling you, I love the guy's demeanor. I love just the way he handles himself. He stood in there a few times and threw some passes where guys in his face, taking a hit. I mean,
Holds on to the ball sometimes too long. Go ahead and get rid of it. He got sacked one time. That was on him.
Agreed.
He could have got rid of it.
agreed. But he's constantly looking down the field trying to
Sure.
make a play.
And hey, 3 times I saw where we had 3rd and longs where he got out of the pocket and used his legs. 2 of those 3 runs resulted in first downs, and they were like 3rd and 9, 3rd and 12,
Yeah.
3rd and 8.
Agreed.
And he picked up first downs 2 of the 3 times he got out of the pocket. So, like to see that as well.
I know the guy said it all along. I know the guy can run, but he's constantly looking. The way he throws the football is, sometimes he'll just catch it and throw it, shoulder still
Right.
pointing this way. And,
Oh, his mechanics are awful, but
well, I
it
don't know
doesn't
that they're
matter.
awful. I believe it's just get it out quick, and he has that strong arm ability.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's gonna that type of footwork will catch up with you at some point. Right now, he's able to get through it.
Yeah,
That's
agreed.
right.
Third weekend.
Who we play this week,
Third
Taylor?
weekend in October.
Who are we playing?
Yeah. 4.
Dirty, down, rotten snitches. What's that guy?
Nice.
Somebody's playing
I don't know
through
if you can get a view of that, Chris, but somebody hit Lane Kiffin with a golf ball,
I did.
Hey, good thing we're playing in Tuscaloosa, right?
tossed from the stage.
I brown bagged it today, boys. Since we're playing Tennessee, only the best.
Nice,
Mustard. There we go.
nice.
I don't know if y'all saw that, but
And we
that was
did.
kind of disgusting the other night.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Yes, it was.
So
So Tennessee, listen, Tennessee's playing really, really well. Fortunately, we are playing at our place, Jimmy. I think it'd be a different game if we were playing in Neyland Stadium.
Probably.
having to go on the road, 107,000.
Well, they're putting in that par 3 there, so yeah.
Right, par
yeah.
three's going in, they say.
Yeah.
Sorry here.
But I think I was watching them a little bit this weekend. I was surprised. I thought that they would beat Ole Miss. Ole Miss may be better than we expected, but Tennessee's defense is lacking a little bit. But their offense, as we mentioned, not too bad.
Should be a good matchup.
Yeah, it'll be another test for our DBs. That's for sure.
Good offensive team coming in with some
A very versatile quarterback.
versatile quarterback. We're starting to pick it up a little bit defensively against our offense, which is playing really well against a not so strong defensive, team.
Right.
Good time for it, to be honest. I
Sure.
mean, come off a big win after a horrible loss. Play well against Mississippi State. Can we turn that around and do it again?
Good teams can.
The good team.
We're supposed to be able
The
to.
focused teams can do that
Right.
week in and week
Right.
out.
Right.
You mentioned earlier, they're doing it down there in Athens.
Yeah.
And listen, man, I watched them play. They remind me of 2012 Alabama football team. Defense is so good. Offense don't have to score often.
Yep.
They do what they need to do offensively, but the defense is so good.
We'll get to them soon enough.
They don't have to. Okay, prediction time.
I don't even know what the line is. I was checking it today. I didn't see
I want to say it was close to 30, 20-something points, 27, 28 points, something like that.
I
It's
was
crazy.
going to say something like a 49-10.
Speaking of that, just so y'all know, run it back. I think my prediction was really close last week. We won 49-9.
You weren't here last week.
I
Yes,
wasn't here last week.
I was here.
Will you play along?
49-9, and I picked 48-10.
That's not really 49-9 though.
I
is
said it was close.
That reminds me. I got to turn in my lottery ticket. I almost had it, but I was off by 2 numbers. So I'm a millionaire.
Anyway,
But go ahead.
hush.
So
Do you know where this thing is,
I
bro?
was going to say or mention that I think it's going to be very similar to this past week, so I obviously can't predict what he just predicted.
Well, you do every
Tennessee,
week.
though, it is playing. They're playing better this year than I thought, and probably most people thought they would. They're coming off a tough loss. We're coming off a big win. I think we carry that momentum over, honestly, and I think we handle business, and I think we'll cover the 30 points.
52-17, tied at home. Offense is playing with confidence. Guys are starting to pick it back up. Mechie, welcome back. Jameson is really, really good. I'd love to see Billingsley and Latu. I'd love to see, old JoJo. I'd love to see him get more involved. I think ultimately we will need that. But Brian Robinson is a workhorse. I think he'll have a good night. Roy, listen, taking nothing away from Roy Williams. He's a really, really good back.
Yeah.
So is Trey Sanders, but he hadn't been on the field because Brian Robinson's saying, give it to me.
Right.
And so 52-17, Tide will roll. Third Saturday we'll make sure we get some pictures at your house, Jimmy, with some cigars and
Absolutely.
put it on the show.
I wasn't invited.
Yes, you were,
Oh.
but you never show up. So
I'm going out of town.
Tide fans, join us here next week. We'll come back after a big win against Tennessee.
Is that a title?
And no, it is not.
Okay.
But we'll see you next week, Tide fans. Roll Tide.
Roll
Roll
Tide.
Tide.